Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 21 of our Let's Play series for Football Manager 2016. Alrighty, so we had our first game of the season last episode, and what I think I'm going to do, probably burn through the early part of this season until we hit the Champions League, and we'll probably focus on Europe a little bit more than the Eredivisie. Because hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, the Eredivisie should go fairly well. Also going to focus fairly well on quite a bit on the Dutch Cup. I actually want to make a really good pitch at the Dutch Cup, so we're playing our strongest teams and doing the best that we can there. Cool. So we've got, as you can see here, an away game against Utrecht, and they've got home games against Roda, NEC, and Excelsior, which is good, and then an away game against AZ before our first Champions League group game, which we're not quite sure when that is yet, or who that's against, I should say, but we'll find that out fairly soon. So I'm thinking I'll probably pause the video, I'll run through a few games. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to test out the 3-5-2 formation that we've set up. I'll give this a whirl in a couple of games, Eredivisie games, and see how it goes. Do a little bit of tweaking here and there and all that kind of stuff, and I'll probably report back to you guys and let you know. Do a bit of analytics analysis on the formation and show you guys some examples and all that kind of stuff, so you see how it works and all that kind of thing. Alright guys, so I'm going to pause the video and we'll be back shortly. Hey guys, just a quick update. I have decided to pull the trigger on this signing. So, we're going to sign Kenny T back to the club. We're going to pay the full 13.75 million transfer. It's obviously a lot of money, especially for someone who we actually only sold for 7 million. But we've got a huge stack of transfer budget sitting there. I've scouted everyone under the sun. There's no one else that I would want to get that we can actually get. No one that's interested. We've already signed a bunch of youngsters. I've got my own a whole bunch more, but they're probably not going to be. We may sign some of those in January, but probably not until next season when we'll have a whole bunch, new transfer budget. So Ajax is pretty comfortable in terms of money, and always should be. It should be a fairly well money making machine. So I haven't got a problem spending that much money. And also, what happened is I actually had Van Rijn in our first game. He's out to 3 to 4 weeks, and what's his name? Leroy. Leroy did a really good job in his game that he played. Actually, he's done very, very well in the game that he played for us in the Eredivisie. But obviously he's not on the level of Kenny T. And Kenny T isn't, he's established Dutch player, and he's playing sort of fairly regularly for the Dutch team. And I'm pretty actually happy to do it. I haven't got a problem doing it. I think he's going to be a very good signing for us. So I'm going to accept that. And there we go. He is done. He's brought back to the club. So that's good. Very, very happy to have him back. And as we can see here, he's 3.5 star currently. He's got 4 and more potential. So he's still got quite a bit more potential to go. So he's actually got on his contract a £20 million release clause. So I suspect that maybe one day someone's going to pick that up for him. Trigger that one day, I think, once he actually gets up to his full ability, because he's got a fair way to go. So, given where he's at already, he is going to be an absolute star. So, he's going to be our first choice. And then once Van Rijn is back to full fitness, we're actually going to send Leroy back to the B team. But we're actually going to keep him in the B team, just in case one of our two, Van Rijn or Kenny T, actually gets injured. And we'll keep Leroy in the B team for a while and actually see if he can sort of be our backup. Because we actually have sent, who was the other guy? Terry L has actually gone out on loan to Roda, and they play in the Eredivisie, so he should get quite a lot of Eredivisie games this season, which is good. So there we go. That's our biggest signing that we've ever made, and probably will be for quite a while. So I tried to get Nigel de Jong, but AC Milan just wanted ridiculous money, and the same with CM de Jong at Newcastle. They just didn't want to sell, so they were quoting ridiculous amounts, which is fine. And there was no other established Dutch team player that we could really get, or that I actually wanted. I think there was a couple others that we could potentially have gotten, but they weren't worth the money. We could have gotten Jonathan de Guzman, but to be perfectly honest, I think we actually got as good players, if not better players, than him already. So, we could have gone, but he would have cost us probably around £15 million from the prices we were quoted. So anyway, there we go. That's Kenny T is back, and I'm very, very pleased to have him back, and I think he's going to be a very good addition to the club, or to actually return back to us. So also good for his development as well, because he went to Porto and actually played one game last season. So he basically had a season of wasted development. Which is unfortunate for him, and I don't think he actually picked up any caps. Although he's in the Dutch team now, but I don't think he actually picked up any caps last time, because he's in the Dutch team already at the moment. So anyway, that's good. So he's back, and he's going to be our first choice right back, wing back. and he's going to do a brilliant job. So there we go. Alright guys, I'm just going to show you some fixtures here. So we had a 2-0 win against Utrecht. We actually played the 5-3-2 in the first time in this game. It did fairly well, worked out fairly well, still dominated possession. It was relatively sound, but got to take into consideration that it's still like basically got only half fluent, so it's got a fair way to go before it's actually fully fluent, and that makes a big difference in terms of performances on the pitch. So that was actually quite a pleasing sign that we actually got a fairly good result there. Had a 2-0 win against Roda JC there at home, which was good, a fairly comfortable victory there. Some of our new guys played quite well in there. Jarrett Hendricks played a fairly good game. John Halsate actually did fairly well. And he had a 6.8 rating, which is the lowest on the team, but actually did have an assist in there, so that was quite good. Christopher Ayer as well. Christopher Ayer actually had a fairly good game. So it's going to take a little while for some of our new guys to settle in, but that's totally fine. Yeah, I think that'll be good though, so it's good. Alright guys, I'm going to pause the video again, and we'll be back soon with some more results. Alright everyone, so we've been had a 2-1 win against NEC at home, which was good. Kenny T made his debut back for the club, which was awesome. So it was a pretty routine. Although he actually did score an own goal in that game, but he still had a fairly good game, so that was fairly okay. So what have we got today? Champions League group stage draw, if I can speak, and we're going to run through this. So we're seeded 3rd still, which is fine. So obviously going to come up against 2 fairly good teams, and then hopefully a weaker team. So we're going to run through this, do it all manually just for the fun of it, see who we don't want before we draw our own 3rd seeds. Rightio. So I probably don't want Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D would be okay. Group E maybe with Porto, Group F definitely not, Group G definitely not, and Group H, wow, that's a difficult. There's not really many good groups in there. Alright, we're going to see who we get. Not that one. Not that one. What about this one? This one? No, not this one. Not this one. We want this one. This is probably the best one, I reckon. Monaco and Basel, I think, probably the best out of these ones. Probably that one would be best. Obviously, Barcelona would tank it in, but I think Porto. Porto are a really good team, though, aren't they? What do you think? We don't want Juventus and Chelsea. We don't want Bayern and Shakhtar. We don't want Man City and Paris, PSG. So that's probably the best. Oh, damn. Who do we get? No. I don't want to play Bayern and Shakhtar. Oh, dear. Alright. Who else have we got in our group? Who's the last? Roma. Oh, no. That's a terrible draw. How do we get Bayern, Shakhtar, and Roma? I think didn't Roma like win the league last year? For Italy? In Italy, I should say. Or did they come second? They came second last year, and we get them. They're in the 4th place team. That's ridiculous. Ah, dearie me. All right. Well, I suppose if you got to win it, you got to beat the best, don't you? Oh dearie. Bayern, Shakhtar, and Roma. That's a terrible draw. See, like this one up here, like even like PSG, Man City, you get like an Cypriot club, Apoel. I don't even know who's that. FCSB. Oh, Stade Bucharest. Interesting. Celtic, Galatasaray, Stuttgart, Monaco, Liverpool, Basel, Red Bull, Salzburg, Sporting, PSV. So PSV got Atletico, Man United, AC Milan. Oh, that sucks. AC Milan spent a lot this transfer window actually, and also Atletico actually just bought Memphis from Man United. Paid £33 million for him, so they've strengthened as well. And that's a pretty tough draw as well. Alrighty, guys, I think we've definitely got one of the worst draws. I don't really see probably a worse one than us. I think every other draw's probably got a team that's potentially beatable. I don't think we really do. I think Roma, Shakhtar, and Bayern. Shakhtar are always very, very good because they spend ridiculous amounts of money. Wow, it's ridiculous. Look at the size of their list. So like 50 players in there. And obviously Bayern, they're just bananas good. They're ridiculous players. I assume they're just as strong as only one season, though they would be. Yeah. I mean, when you come up against Lewandowski and Muller and Vidal and Thiago and Xabi Alonso and Alava and oh god. Anyway, and then Roma as well. Roma are a very good team as well. Is that Rafael? Is that oh, it is the no, that's goalkeeper. I thought it was the guy from Rafael from Man United. It's not interesting. Well, I mean, it's coming against Strootman too. That sucks. I mean, I think the only beatable team out of there is probably maybe Roma. I don't really see it though, to be honest. I suppose Shakhtar. It depends how Shakhtar's got. I mean, obviously Shakhtar are usually very good. Anyway, that's just what it is. We can't do anything about it. It's done. We're just going to have to beat all of them. We're just going to win all... Is it 6 games? 9 games? Whatever it is. Ajax-handed tough group. Yes, we definitely are. Oh dear. Alrighty. Oh, who's that? Nikolai Thompson. Centre mid. 23 years old. Who's bidding for him? Palermo, 1.3 million. Interesting. Well, that's okay. We haven't really got anywhere for him in the team anyway, so not really interested. He looks like a decent player. I can't say all his stats, but he's got some good physicals in there. Got some good technical stuff as well. Good vision, off the ball, flair. That should be a good player. Anyway, we're fairly well stocked in the area, so that is fine. Press conference. What is your immediate reaction? Oh dear. Can we say a bad one? Can we say? I'm going to say it's undeniably tough. Transfer window slam shuts. You're still looking to do business. Not looking likely. Draw for the Champions League. Hand your side a considerable away trip against Shakhtar. What effect do you see that having on your players? Don't have any concerns. It's just like any other match. Draw also features a trip to the impressive Olympico. How much are you looking forward to that? Magnificent venue. Hopefully we can do some justice there. PSV and Ajax are teams representing Holland. How do you rate the chances of a Dutch winner? Only concerned about us. Whatever. Storm out. There we go. Stick of press conferences. Actually, I'm going to get rid of press conferences. I'm a little bit over them. So, first team handles. So, assistant manager handles press conferences. And he can handle tunnel interviews. And, yeah, that's it. So, I just do team talks, opposition instructions. Good. Alrighty. Encouraged by match preparation, which is good. We used our 3-5-2 against NEC, which is fairly good, so it worked out fairly well. Had some good possession. I think we were fairly defensively solid, apart from obviously the own goal. They didn't really threaten, actually, like from their own play, so I'm fairly happy with the 3-5-2. Obviously, it needs a fair bit of work to come up, which is fine, though, so we're still training up our match tactics to get up to full fluidity, so that shouldn't be too far away. Probably another few weeks. So a few people are unhappy with their training. I'm not really quite sure why. Well, I think a few of them individually are not uber happy about necessarily their training, but that's just the way it is. Video's missing some stuff here. I'll look at that in a minute. Anyway, what we're going to do, I'm going to run through the next 2 Eredivisie games. I'm going to go and come back to probably the biggest game of the Champions League draw, I guess, if the home game is Shakhtar. So probably our home games are going to be incredibly important for this draw. I think if we've got any chance of getting anything out of it in terms of even Euro Cup or even miracle getting out of it in the actual out of the group stage, we'd have to win our home games. I think home form is going to be crucial. So yeah, we're going to play through the next 2 Eredivisie game against Excelsior and AZ, and then we'll come back to the home game against Shakhtar. So I'll see you all soon. Okay, and it's game day with Shakhtar. So just to give you a bit of an update what's been happening. We had a good 1-0 win against Excelsior and a 1-1 draw with AZ. So we've won we had 2 draws and 4 wins in our first 6 matches in the Eredivisie, which is good. I think we're sitting on top. Yeah, we are. So sitting on top by a point, which is fairly good. Haven't lost a game yet, which has been nice. Alrighty, so I actually just want to point out Ruben Jensen. Where is he? Ruben Jensen. In 4 games, in 4 Eredivisie games in starts, he's had 2 goals and 3 assists. He has been absolutely on the charts. He's just been going crazy. He's been playing basically in the box-to-box midfielder role, so yeah, really very impressed. For a free transfer, he's doing absolutely brilliant. If he keeps up this level, he's probably going to be the signing of the season, so anyway, that will be interesting. Alright, so Shakhtar. We are going to do a bit of analysis on them, see what they're all about. do an overview here. So current abilities, obviously got lots and lots of good players. So if anyone in particular we've got to watch out for, obviously Dario Serna, even though he's 34, he's still a beast. There's not a whole lot of speed anymore though, which is probably not unexpected, but obviously very, very good mentals, very, very good crossing as well. So crossing is something we have to keep an eye on. We'll look at their assist location though as well. Who else we got here? Taras Stepanenko. Where on earth are you? 27-year-old Ukrainian. You're a defensive midfielder. I actually can't see all your stats, which is a little bit unfortunate. But yeah. Apparently a very, very good player. So where have you come from? You've been at Shakhtar for ages. Oh wow. Can't say I've ever heard of you. It's a bit strange. Cool. Alright, so Bernard, obviously Bernard, a very, very good player from the left. Sort of inside forward. Never a very good World Cup though, but I'm sure he's doing fairly well in this game. He's not really. He hasn't played that many games. Yeah, alright, interesting. So I mean, nothing really. So obviously, we obviously know, they've got a lot of good players. Although strikers, looks like they're actually sort of struggling in the striker area, which is very, very interesting. Keep an eye on their strikers. A little bit frustrating we can't see all their stats. I should have gotten a team report. I just assumed that we would have had some from Shakhtar, but obviously not. I have to keep that in mind for the next time. Alrighty, so we're gonna look at their tactics, what they use. So it looks like they actually vary around quite a bit. So 4-2-3 on wide. 4-2-3-1 DM, 4-3-1-2 narrow. So what did they use last game? 4-2-3-1. Interesting. So interesting to see what they start with. Any major players out? Fred is out. Not really. A whole bunch of people unregistered though. It's a very weird list they've got going on. Anyway, that's fine. So what about goals? So nothing, obviously, because it's so early. It is hard when it's sort of coming up to these early games because there's no real patterns that have emerged yet. So it can be sort of hard to actually sort of see, come up with any sort of patterns and things. Like really, this probably tells us nothing really. Because you could read stuff into it, but it's so early in the season that statistically it's just not significant, and you could read stuff into here that really doesn't have any effect in the game because it's not not actually a pattern or an occurrence. It's just sort of just because the fact there's only a few games going. So I mean it's a little bit hard. There's not a whole lot we can really read into much of it, to be perfectly honest. We can look at some of this stuff. I'm not really quite sure this is going to be a whole lot of benefit though either, to be perfectly honest. Sometimes this is useful, but I'm thinking it's generally more sort of for overall team things. It's not sort of for a game to game because it doesn't take into account the individual players. So obviously this takes into account the whole team or all the players available for this team, but maybe some of the players won't get used in the right. Maybe they'll be listed as attacking here, but actually get put into midfield or vice versa. Or some of their players might be out, or it's just a little bit like that. So, but actually, one interesting thing is their attack looks quite weak apparently. So we've actually got a far better attack than them, which is very, very interesting. So obviously, their strength is in midfield. Looks like it's probably the area they're a little bit better than us in certain areas. Anyway, we'll see what happens, guys. Well, I mean, we can't really do much more. I think, given it's a home game, I'm actually going to start with our normal formation. I'm going to start with this one here, and. Yeah, we can always switch to the 3-5-2 or the other one if we need to. But I think for our home games, I'm going to try and attack, and this is sort of our most attacking one. And yeah, see what happens. So obviously Silason's still out, which is frustrating. Out for another 4 days and 2 weeks, so he's not too far away, which is good. So Peter is going to be our goalkeeper. Done fairly well, really. Obviously he's not a long-term starter though, but he's done his job as well as he could. All right, so Kenny T is going to start out on the right. Van Rijn played last game. Out on the left, Boylerson, 92%, but I think Dykes was injured. Yeah, he was. So either we can play Vagiva out there, or we can stick with Boylerson. Obviously, Vagiva's a bit more of a defensive player, not much of an attacking one. Maybe we'll give him a run on the left, though. He's a natural on the left. Because Boylerson's only 92%, also condition and 91% sharpness, so he's going to wear out fairly quickly. He has played quite well, though, recently. Alright, we'll start him. Given he's playing so well recently, we'll start him. We can always take him off and replace him with Vagiva, because if Vagiva's not going to start, I'm going to put someone else in. I'm thinking Heiting, or maybe even Jorrit Hendricks. I'm a little bit worried about Heiting with his pace. Although apparently they haven't got much pace either. Alright, we'll give Heiting a run. We'll give him a go. I'll see what happens. So Veltman's obviously going to start. So I know guys down on conditioning, but we'll sort of deal with that. So we'll probably take out Nuri. Baselware's definitely going to start in that midfield role. The menu G is probably going to start the attacking one there. Not sure about Jensen. Maybe we're going to put in someone else. I'll see. Maybe Christoph Ayer for that sort of box-to-box role. Because he's got good work rate and teamwork, and he's fairly well rounded, like good positioning, some good tackling and stuff. So I think I'm going to give him a go in the box-to-box role in place of Ruben Jensen, who has been playing very, very well. So maybe I should start him, but we'll give Christoph Ayer a go, see how he goes. Alrighty, so St. Graven's probably, yep, he's okay. Lasser Shane is going to start on the right. Fisher, we're probably going to put Eunice out to start on this one. So Eunice can start on the left. He's a little bit better conditioning. Milik, thinking probably El Ghazi, to be perfectly honest. So he's only 91% condition, 77% sharpness. He's only just come back from injury. So, yeah, some of his stats are down a little bit. Alright, I'm going to give El Ghazi a start. We can always bring Milik on maybe half-time or something. He'll be able to last a half easily. Alright, so that's pretty much... So we got Van Rijn. We take out Van Rijn. Leave Ruben Jensen in. Milik as a striker. St. Graven for a midfield role. Fisher, maybe. We need a defender. So we're bringing in Hendricks. I think we're also going to bring in... No, Vergever. Yep, Vergever. Alright, so we want Vergever. Cool. Alright, so that's gonna be our setup. So guys, Eunice. Yep, cool. Alright, done. So there's nothing I've noticed on the Shack side of things. So I'm not gonna, I don't think. So they're playing Eduardo Silva. Oh, he's a good player, isn't he? DeReam. Alrighty. It's hard to know because I can't see a lot of their stats, which is my mistake. And also, like, because there's no sort of, can't really tell sort of which way they play yet, to be perfectly honest. So we're just going to play. Well, I think we're just going to start. I'm not going to make any opposition instructions yet. I'm just going to play. I'm going to watch the first 20 minutes fairly in depth. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then we'll also make some changes later. Alright, guys, I'll pause the video and we'll be back soon. Oh my god, that was disgusting. That was by far the worst game that we have played since I have been in charge. That was... Oh, if I could sack half the team, I probably would. That was just terrible. We just... Oh, I don't know. We just were terrible. Defensively, we were absolutely shocking. Just individual mistakes just destroyed us. And we thoroughly deserved to lose 4-0. Probably should have lost 6-0. If that's the way we're going to play in the Champions League, it's going to be an extremely short adventure this season. That was... disgusting. Right. Anyway, life goes on. Alright, so we are going to have to pick ourselves up and move on. Trenton squads. Yeah, okay. Alright, so what do I do, guys? I think I'll run ahead to probably the next Champions League game, actually, to be honest. I'll probably skip through the Eredivisie game. We should, I don't even know that team, DVS 33. They're a non-league football club, so that we should have no trouble beating them. We can play a very, very weakened team, given we're playing Bayern at away. I'm a little bit scared about the Bayern away game now, actually. Yeah, given that was how we played the game. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to pause the video and we'll be back for the Bayern game. Alrighty guys, game day against Bayern. So, it is obviously at the Allianz Arena and the pitch is good. Weather's fine. I think the Allianz Arena actually has a roof, doesn't it? I think from memory, so it shouldn't matter. Alrighty, what are we going to do? I think, I don't know guys, I don't know what we're going to play. Have a quick look at Bayern. Oh, it seems a little bit futile at times. So, Bayern. Where can we click on Bayern? Schedule, Bayern. Alrighty, team reports. We're not going to bother looking at their team. I think everyone pretty much knows them. So they play a 4-1-4-1 DM. Some of them start with a 4-1-2-3, which is interesting. What did they play last time? 4-1-4-1. Alright, so... 4-1-4-1, obviously very, very strong through on the flanks, sort of like a 4-2 or 4-4-2, I should say. Sacrifices a striker for that DM there. Shouldn't worry us too much because we don't play with an AM, an AMC, so they're not sort of going to have anyone to pick up. We have to be careful of Alonso though. He doesn't get too much space to sort of just sit back and dictate play. So I may individually close him down to try and reduce some of that influence that he has. Looks like Robin is a lot more attacking than on the left side. Basically, he's a lot more attacking than the right. This is based off if they play the same thing. So Robin, as you can see, his little thing is a lot more advanced than Muller's there. So interesting. Bit of an interesting formation for Bino. I wouldn't really thought it would really suit them. I wouldn't imagine that's definitely not what they play in real life. So interesting. Alrighty, what about their goals and such? Goals. So nothing too much there. Assists. A lot of assists from the right, which is very interesting. A lot of assists from long, actually, which is also very interesting. So suggests they get a lot of goals from the right. So potentially Muller is playing quite well out there, or their right back. Also a lot of long balls. Actually, quite a few long balls. Really insists. Yeah. So they're not necessarily long balls, but I sort of think of these as long balls. So which potentially means they could sit back a little bit, which would be quite very anti-Bayern. I wouldn't have thought they would do, but sort of generally what they would, suggest to me. They may sit back a little bit and pump some long balls forward to Lewandowski, but interesting. We'll concede a lot more down their left, which is also very interesting. So potentially, I suppose, because Robin is out there, Robin doesn't attack very much, doesn't defend pretty much at all. So potentially they could leave a lot of space out on the left. So that does possibly leave us some options. So maybe we could attack down our right flank, down their left. Could be a possibility. Goal types: placed shots, lobs, overheads. Yeah, nothing too much there. Goal assists, pass, cross, long balls. So not a whole lot of long balls really. So these, even though there's 9 here, there's only 2 long balls. Which probably suggests they're sort of passes or through balls. Just sort of longer, obviously just from a bit further out. So interesting. So I wonder if Alonso's actually had a lot of those. I'm going to quickly have a look at his stats. Yeah, he's actually had 4 assists, which probably suggests he's getting a lot of... he's actually the one providing a lot of those assists. So where are all their assists coming from, actually? So we've got Lewandowski, which is interesting. Götze, Muller. So actually, Alonso is probably their number 1 sort of outfield player. Well, obviously Lewandowski, I'm talking about sort of apart from the strikers. So Lewandowski is obviously like 8 goals, so he's their main man. If he didn't score, they very rarely score. We got Götze and Muller do score at times, but if we can shut down Lewandowski, which I know is pretty much impossible. Because I'm pretty sure he's strong on both feet, isn't he? Yeah, so he's fairly strong on both feet. Yeah, he hasn't really got any weaknesses, as we all know. Alrighty, so that's interesting. Tells us a few little things that we may look at. Philip Lahn's retiring. He's only 32. Ah, 2018. He's got another 2 seasons. Wow, that's an early retirement date. I don't think that's in real life. I don't think he's announcing he's going to retire in end of 2018, has he? I don't think so. I know he retired obviously from international football, but I don't think he's going to retire. Interesting. Anyway, that's still 2 years away, basically. All right. Cool. Alright, so we are our team. So Silason's back. Kenny T unfortunately got injured last game, so we put Van Rijn out to the right. I think we're going to take a bit of a gamble, play our 3-5-2. We're still not up to fluidity, which is concerning. Generally, I wouldn't play it if it's not up to fluidity, but I think this is actually going to work for the formation that we potentially will become up against. So we're going to give this a go, and we'll see how it goes. So Silason's back, which is good. So he's going to start, even though he's down on conditioning and stuff. That's fine. Boylussen, where on earth is he? Boylussen's going to start on the left. Yes, he is. And Van Rijn is out on the right. Milik is going to be probably our deep lying, actually, to be honest. I think we're going to play El Ghazi as our advanced forward. I think Milik's a far better sort of link-up player. He's got some better vision, although maybe not. 11, yeah, he does. I think his teamwork, like El Ghazi's team, he's got a bit off the ball, but he's like his passing and his teamwork and stuff. I just think for teamwork, it's got to be incredibly important for a deep lying playmaker to have decent teamwork. Whereas Milik's got 13. which is 4 better than El Ghazi. So I just think, yeah, you're sort of linking up play, so you're sort of linking up all the components here with a deep lying forward. So definitely want someone there who has a little bit better teamwork. So we'll put Milik there, we'll put El Ghazi as advanced one. Should be a decent advanced forward. He's, not particularly quick, but he's got really good dribbling, good movement, off the ball movement, anticipation stuff. So he could sort of snatch a goal here and there. Alrighty, so I think Nemanja G is definitely going to play our box-to-box role. We're going to have Buzzaware wherever he is in our defensive mid role. So that leaves Shona out, doesn't it? So he's probably not going to play to start with. So Veltman's definitely going to start. I think we're going to go with, I'm not sure about Vagiva or, I'm not sure about Heidinger. I don't know, he didn't play very well last time around. He hasn't played well last few games, actually. He's just not really performing. I think I'm going to leave him out. I think we're going to go for young youth. I'm not sure about Vagiva. I think, I don't know. Don't know. He's natural there. Or whether we give our young guys a go, give Hendricks and Wesley Hote a go. We're going to give Vagiva on the left and Hendricks in the middle. And we'll have Wesley to bring on if we need him. So, attacking mid. No, Nemanja G's not playing there. He's the attacking guy now. That's right. He's actually switched his role over. So, I'm thinking probably Jensen is going to play the box-to-box. He's done really so well currently, in the game so far. So, I think we're going to give him another run there. So, that's pretty much our team. That's our team. So, in terms of Stan's got to go back to the B team. So, I'm going to send him back to there. There we go. It's better. So, in terms of subs, who do we need? Is there anyone we want on there? Mitchell is injured or just come back from injury. Kenny's injured. Heidinger, I don't think we're going to bring in. John, yeah, he's probably not quite ready. He's only 18 years old. Probably not really quite ready to play every game in, game out. I mean, he will be a very good player once he develops. Nuri, probably not really needed. And Duarte, probably not really either. Alright, I think we're going to run with what we've got. Alright, so this is going to be our lineup for the Bayern game. Let's see what happens. It's fine. I can't believe we got beaten 4-0 by Shakhtar. That was terrible. Alright, so they've gone with a 4-1-4-1, so that's interesting. So you see a sort of bit of a slant across this side. So Robin is a lot more attacking than the rest of their midfield guys, so we'll keep an eye on that. May sort of focus play down the right at some stage. We'll see how that goes. Opposition instructions. So we're going to see what happens here. So hard tackling on Lam. I'm going to take that off. I don't like hard tackling, as I said it before. Take all this off. Yep, especially on Lewandowski. No. I think tight marking, I'm pretty happy with tight marking. So, I mean, I know he's really sort of tricky and really quick, but I think it's probably better than closing down. Because if we're sort of close to him already, like when he gets the ball, then it's a lot harder to sort of spin around us than if like we try and close him down and he can actually like move past us, kind of thing, if that makes any sense. Closing down on Alonso, yes, and I'm actually going to say hard tackling on Alonso. I'm going to break my rule and say hard tackling. I was going to say tight marking. I'm going to try and mark Alonso out of the game if we possibly can. I know it's going to be hard, but alrighty, weaker foot. No, I'm going to take those off. I'm thinking potentially we could funnel them out wide, but I'm not really quite sure that's going to have enormous difference. Because obviously Lewandowski is still fairly decent. We're actually very good in the area. Actually is a very good aerial player, so... Alrighty guys, we're just going to run with this. I'm going to watch the game. We'll see what happens. Challenge them to win off. We had a good win last time, which is good. Alrighty guys, I'm going to pause the video and we'll be back soon. Alrighty guys, 2-0 defeat. Fairly well-deserved defeat, as you see. They only had one shot on target the whole game. And to add insult to injury, we had El Ghazi and Shona both injured in the games, which meant that we couldn't really make a lot of changes in terms of tactical like substitutions and stuff, so that was disappointing. So our Champions League is pretty much over already after 2 games, which is disappointing. And I think we actually didn't play too bad. I mean, the shots on target, obviously, shots just suggested that we were massively outclassed, which we were in some ways. I actually think we weren't too bad. Yeah, I just think it's just unfortunate. It's just one of those things that just Bayern are just a completely different level than what we are. which is in terms like individually and as a team, they are just light years above us in terms of quality. So it wasn't really a whole lot we could do. So very, very disappointing start to the Champions League this season. We have to make some pretty drastic changes next season, I think, if we're going to have any chance of progressing. So, oh Christ. So Shoney's going to be out for 2 months. We're going to send him to a specialist, of course. El Ghazi, 3 to 4 weeks. Starting to wonder whether injuries are a little bit of a problem in this game. We've only got 3 really. I suppose I can't complain too much. Anyway, alrighty. I'm going to end the episode here, guys. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. I hope you enjoy this series. Hope you're not disappointed by our disgusting form in the Champions League so far. I'm going to take a bit of a analysis about how we're going and all that kind of stuff and see if we need to change what we're doing and anything like that. So yeah, as always, it'd be amazing if you could subscribe to the channel and like the video if you haven't done so already, and if you have done so, then you have my eternal thanks. And hope you've all had a wonderful day, and I'll see you all soon.